Welcome to a new episode of Firelink Podcast, Halloween Special, Chapter 2. And we're here with our guest, Noe.
What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
That was actually just a very dry voice. I wasn't trying to be scary.
We're trying to make it scary, bro.
I know. I sounded scary, but...
Why are you laughing? But what's up, everyone? Say hello to a camera.
What's going on, guys?
Hi. This is our very first video podcast. If you're listening to this and you don't see a video, it's because the video came out. What would you say?
Perfect.
I guess.
Yeah.
If you don't,
I was all like, if
it's
you
too
don't see
perfect
it-
for YouTube.
Yeah.
To watch it.
But anyway, today, as you can see in our background, the theme is Halloween. And we're going to tell what kind of stories, babe?
Scary stories.
But like creepypastas or
Huh?
what kind of scary story?
What did you say?
Creepypastas.
Oh.
You know what creepypastas
Yeah.
are, right?
Like, like Slenderman, like
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
It depends what kind of stories Noe has.
Personal ones.
Well, we're going to
Ghost stories?
talk about personal supernatural encounters that we've had in our life. And we've had many.
That was all. I've had a few.
I've had a few. My wife has the most.
You don't know that.
She's got the sixth sense, that's why.
She sees dead people. But yeah, so if you see this dark video, it's because of that theme.
Spooky season.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Whoa. Wants to start off with a story. Who
No,
thinks
wait.
has the
Ladies first.
who thinks has the scariest story to tell?
How's that? Mine?
Probably his.
On a scale of 1,
Well, see, the thing with mine is like, mine was a good one, but I guess it's more of a had to be there. That's gonna scare you more kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when it happened to me, it happened to me and a friend, and we were terrified. Like he was driving me home, and we had to sit outside of my house for a little bit because we were kind of like, what happened? Like,
you're freaked out.
yeah, it's happened to me and a friend, and actually me and Sandy too.
Really?
Yeah,
Over there.
in the Clint area.
Mm.
The first one with me and my friend took place between the Fabens exit and the Clint exit on that little stretch of highway. And then the one with me and Sandy actually happened coming down the Clint exit. I guess there's a road that leads to the cemetery, and we had it happen right there.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
So these were on the road?
Yeah,
So
both of
wasn't-
them happened on the road.
Dang. Okay.
So-
Well, those
So
are
is
interesting.
it safe to say that you believe in ghosts?
Oh, definitely. I believe in ghosts big time.
Because of that, or you even believe?
No,
before?
I was all like, I guess you could say I'm very into all of that. So
Yeah.
Anything from ghosts, angels and demons, and even aliens. I'm like up here. Even Bigfoot. I know he's somewhere out there. He's somewhere out there.
He's real.
Yeah. That's cool. What about you?
I don't think I have that many scary ones.
You have
So-
some though. I was all
But
like,
do you believe or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
now are you a big believer, or are you just kind of like, if it happens to me, then I believe it?
No, like I'm a big believer
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why if like stuff hasn't really happened to you?
because I, yeah,
It's very interesting, right? It's
Because he
very
watches
interesting.
too much Ghost Adventures.
yeah,
Hey, that's a good show.
like yeah, it is. That's educational.
Yeah,
It teaches you what to
exactly.
stay away from.
Yeah.
And how to piss off ghosts too.
But
Try to get them to come out.
Right.
I think that's all I do.
we went straight to the source when we went to the museum.
Oh man, that I'm still so jealous of that.
That's pretty cool.
I had told Sandy if we ever go out to Vegas, like that's the one thing I'm gonna do. And she's like, "Well, you're gonna do it by yourself." Okay,
By
have
yourself.
fun.
What?
I was like,
Did you
"Okay,
wanna
have
go
fun."
in?
No, I was all Sandy is very big on if you allow it to
Oh,
be in
okay,
presence,
okay,
it's
okay.
something's gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a believer, but she's like one of those like I don't want to believe. I don't want to know
I'll
what's
stay
going on over
away,
there.
yeah.
I'll stay away from it. So not me. I love ghosts.
You're like, I'm going
I was
in.
all like, I love scary stuff. So I've never had anything like fully scary happen to me to like, I guess like sleep paralysis or anything like that. But I think once I've had it, and that's like the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Sleep paralysis?
Yeah,
How old are you?
I was about 14.
Wow.
about 14 years old, and I just remember that I woke up. It was like 2 something in the morning, and I was just laying in bed and I couldn't move, but I felt like someone was on top of me.
I've had that. I've had that happen to me 2 times.
Sure.
With her. I've never had sleep paralysis outside of you, babe.
You thought it
Are
was
you
sleep paralysis. She was
serious?
kind of smothering your pillow.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I've had sleep paralysis twice. Once in this house, and another time in our apartment we used to live in. When
Oh,
we
really?
first moved in together, we lived in an apartment, and
It's Brenda's bringing something around you.
Probably.
See, you're bringing it around.
no, yeah, I had sleep paralysis. So, in our apartment, just think about a square room.
Mm-hmm.
Our bed was in the, I guess, the top left corner.
Okay.
So in this corner right here, for the video, this corner right here, and then right across it, not across it, but adjacent to it, like perpendicular to it,
Okay.
was the window.
Okay.
And we used to have actually these curtains right here, dark curtains. And one night I was just sleeping. And you know how when you have those dreams and you wake up in your room
Oh, yeah.
and they feel real, but they're not? That's how it felt. Like exactly how it felt. So I woke up. I just see a tall, dark figure where the curtain is, but it had a head and like a very slim body.
Slender Man.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the
Exactly.
creepypasta.
That's my first thought. Like, oh my God, Slenderman's here. No, I didn't see your video. Don't take me. So yeah, I remember just laying there and me wanting to move and say something, but I couldn't do anything. So I was like,
No, I was the same way, and it's like the worst feeling in the world.
heck yeah, dude, it's scary. And then once here too, same thing. Instead of a dark figure, I saw a tall white one, like a cloak, but with like I guess black hair or something. I couldn't see the face, and same thing. I was like, until
crazy.
I was able to move.
It was me.
All the angels coming for you from the smothering of the pillow, remember?
That would be so funny.
Hold on.
But would you consider those supernatural experiences or just nightmares?
It's hard to say. Like, I would consider it more of a supernatural thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they do say that when you feel that someone's watching you,
That's why you wake up in the middle of the night.
that
Yeah.
probably someone is.
Yeah, that you sense someone's energy or something looking at you.
Yeah.
So I've had that plenty of times.
That's what happened to her in the museum.
Really?
Well, they told us like if you feel someone looking at you, it's probably the owner, the original owner.
Oh yeah, I remember when he did the episode on that one. Wasn't it a Halloween special too? That was a good episode.
Yeah. We saw it recently.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
I followed that page on Instagram, and he's always putting up videos of like people fainting, and you can see balls of.
They have it inside the museum. He has like, you know those where you put pictures.
Mm-hmm.
What are they called?
What?
Those things that they have.
iPads?
No, they're not iPads. They're like
Screens?
You know which ones, right? The ones where you put pictures and it's like a
Oh.
slideshow.
Yeah.
A live
Well,
photo
they
thing?
have that. They have like some of them in certain rooms of like guests who have gone through stuff.
Oh wow.
It's pretty scary.
See.
They show you videos like.
Now, tell me this: did you go into the room of dolls?
We didn't go into the room full of dolls, but we went to Peggy the doll.
Oh, okay.
Peggy
I was
the
all
Dolls
like, I
room.
want to go into the room of dolls, like the episode that he did with was it the Island of Dolls?
I don't know.
You haven't seen that one on Ghost Adventures?
We've seen so many, we
I was
forgot
all
how
like,
many.
yeah, he does one where there's like an island of dolls in like Mexico. Or
I think
something
we've
like
seen
that.
it, and they take. Who do they take? Do they take Peggy?
No.
It's either Peggy or Robert the doll,
I think it's Robert.
right?
Yeah,
The one
it's
that
Robert the doll, and like they bring him into the room of dolls.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
yeah.
hear like some of the dolls laughing and stuff. Like,
Yeah, and they see a black cat or
They
something.
Yeah.
didn't take us there. Like
No, they
But
didn't
they
take us
didn't
into
show
the
us
doll
to-
room.
I don't know how many rooms they. It was a lot
was
of
a
rooms,
bunch of rooms.
but
that's crazy.
the only one we went to was the.
Now, do they have like an extended tour, or is it just like you guys took like a basic tour? Or what?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too
It's
sure
just one tour.
what their I guess tour consists of.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we're just talking about the doll room. I thought that because I think the doll room was before Peggy,
Okay.
So once they acquired Peggy, now
Yeah,
Peggy
I
was the
think
main
maybe,
one,
uh-huh.
like the
Okay.
main attraction.
Did they show that painting that he bought that
Which
had
one?
Charles Manson's like
Oh yeah, yeah.
ashes in it or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
we went to
That's awesome.
it's a whole room full of serial killer stuff.
That's crazy.
That's where she had her. Well, you'll hear it on the episode, but
I was all like, yeah. I don't. I was all, spoilers. Don't ruin
Spoilers.
it. I want to hear it.
spoiler
Yeah.
alert if you haven't heard the last episode. Um, but yeah,
Which you just put up, like,
yeah. So when you listen to this one, you'll probably already listen to the other
to
one.
the other one.
But you tell us one of your paranormal stories. Like, who
Hmm.
wants to go first? Because you
Okay,
have the most.
I'll go first.
I have the least.
Oh no, I was all like,
I,
we're all close, but
I think, like, I'll do the one that I feel like was the beginning of, like, when I started seeing stuff.
Okay, why don't we do this? Let's do least. Because I have the least. Because I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know if I
But
can.
mine is not scary, so let me start since
Why
it's
is
not
not
that
scary?
you got to build it up. You got to
Yeah,
build it up.
But mine's not scary either. Because I didn't see anything. I just. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go first anyway.
All right,
So-
I guess. Like, the one that didn't want to go
I
first.
know she
and now
didn't
she
want
was.
to at first.
Mírala.
Because it's not scary. Like,
Everyone heard that.
I'm like, what? Start it.
This is how I live. This is what I live with.
So I think I was maybe like 16. And I used to live in Colorado. And I think the year before, my grandma passed away here in El Paso. And I was very, very close to her. Like, very close to her.
I've heard this before.
And I think, like, that was the first time that I saw something because, so I had a room and it was, I didn't know that, like, mirrors could be, like, portals and stuff. Like, my room was full of mirrors. Like, every
Still
wall.
is. We're talking about was.
Oh man.
Still
No,
is.
our room doesn't have a mirror in this wall.
Oh. I mean,
But
you
that room had
can count
mirrors
the
everywhere.
bathroom.
That's true.
For real.
You have more in there too?
Huh?
Do you have like
She has
one of
2
those-
mirrors in the bathroom.
You have two?
One little tiny one on a case, or ¿cómo se llama?
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, the mirror.
Is it the one that's like the super magnified?
No.
No,
I was all like,
it's just
those are cool.
for decoration.
But she has her vanity. She has the dresser. And then our what's that called?
Headboard.
Our headboard is a
Dang.
huge mirror, dude.
You guys are just a bunch of mirrors everywhere.
And I tell her that's bad juju. That's bad juju.
Anyway, so that room was full of mirrors. And I remember, like, one night, because after my grandma passed away, like, I was sad for a while. I remember I used to have, like, my bed was like this. And I used to have a rocking chair on the side. Or I don't know why. Like, I never used that thing. But I remember one night, like, I was sleeping this way. And I just heard the rocking chair, like, start rocking.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, and I woke up and I was
That
like,
kind of rocking.
like, I'm not going to turn around. Like, I'm not going to turn around. And I looked through the mirror in that wall and I just saw my grandmother because she used to read the Bible, like, all the time. And I just saw her, like, reading the Bible and rocking on the chair.
You said this wasn't scary.
But I didn't get scared. Like, when I saw her, I was like, oh, it's
I
my
was all
grandma.
like, see, it's your grandma, but for us, I was like, that's scary.
That's an old.
And I was like, oh, it's my grandma. So I went back to sleep. Did that really scare you? I mean, you would have
It's a good
gotten
one. It's a good
scared,
one, yeah.
but I knew her. So.
If I see an old lady on a chair, I'm getting scared.
Yeah, but if it's
Regardless if
your
it's my
grandma,
grandma.
no.
See,
Well,
now,
yeah.
how many days was it after? Or what?
No, it was like a whole year after.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
I was I had something similar to that.
Did you?
I was all like, it didn't happen directly to me. It happened to our family, in general.
Oh, so it was a group that
It
experienced
was a whole group that
Dang, so
experienced
you
it.
had witnesses.
So I was probably about 6, 7 years old. Of course, my older sister and I think my little sister was about to be born or something. But it's around Christmas time. It's actually like the 23rd of December, and it's me, my sister, my parents and my dad's parents, my grandma and grandpa, were in town from out of town. And we're all there. We're just all hanging out in the living room. I'm playing with my toys. Sister's playing with her toys too. And my parents are talking with my grandparents. We used to have a pit bull that lived with us. And out of nowhere, he started getting up, and you could see him kind of like sniffing around and looking around. And he gets to the Christmas tree and starts growling. He like gets in the defensive stance. Hair's like, you could see that he's like, something's bugging him. And he's growling at the tree.
What?
And my dad's like, hey, like, calm down. It's just a tree. Leave the tree alone. So he keeps growling at it and like would back up and then kind of like look again and keep growling at it. I'd say he did that like 2 or 3 times. And after that, the phone rings. Phone rings. My mom answers it. And it's just nothing but static. That's
Oh, what?
So
Not
my
even.
mom's like, hello, hello.
Not
And
even
my dad-
7 days.
No, not even that. I was all like, but it's just nothing but static. So my mom's like, I think the phone's down. And she answered to my dad. My dad, the same thing. Hello, here, nothing but static. Oh, I don't know, maybe just a bad reception or something. Hangs it up.
That's creepy.
The dog starts going even more crazy. He's pacing back and forth. He's actually barking at the tree and like jumping at it, and then backs up. What? The phone rings again. Same thing, static. So again, my parents are like, man, we have like a bad line or something, like the cold's messing with it or something. After a while, the dog finally chilled out, went and lay down, left it like that. The next morning, my mom gets a call from my grandma, her mom, saying that her mom had passed away. My great-grandma had passed away. So my mom told her the story. She's like, yeah, she passed away around that time.
Like when the phone rang
When
and
the
the
phone
dog
was ringing and everything like that, she had already passed away. So pretty much how they had took it was that she passed away and went over to my mom's house for some reason and was...
Say bye.
Probably. So...
That's crazy.
See, that's not scary.
Yours
was scary.
Yours was kind of scary. No, but that one was crazy because it was a whole group. Even my grandma and grandpa could have told you, like, yeah, the phone was ringing and the dog was going crazy. It was weird.
Wow.
So that's my similar story right there.
To my scary story.
I don't have any similar stories.
What about you?
What?
What was
I've had stories about my grandpa's house
It's always a grandparent's house.
that they told me about.
Right?
It's always a grandparent's house.
Well, they told me at my grandpa's house. My uncle lives there now since my grandpa passed away. But they used to say that they could hear boots because it's 2-floor. Like it's the first floor and the second floor. Mm-hmm. You know how that works?
Yeah.
Stacked up each other. But yeah, they used to say on the second floor you could hear boots, you could hear marbles, and sometimes even a crying baby.
Why is it the marbles always?
I don't know.
It's the same thing. I was all like, marbles? I hear
Like
marbles all the time.
something rolling.
What mine sounds like, it sounds like a dime or something. And it sounds like it hits and it kind of rolls. I always hear that.
Damn.
And it's not only me, again, it's my family. Ever since my dad's mom passed away, she, like, you could always hear a marble or something, no matter which house we live in.
Really?
And my dad always says that's just his way of his mom checking in and saying, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Because she used to always flip coins.
Oh, that makes sense.
Then,
She used to always flip coins. So he's always like,
Probably.
oh, she dropped it or something. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it was because my grandma passed away in our house. And that's when we started hearing it. So it was crazy. But it's always a marble or something. Like,
See, that's not scary. Seeing an old lady in the mirror rocking a chair behind you.
That's pretty scary.
That's scary.
I've seen that on The Conjuring.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was my grandma.
Well, yeah, of course.
And she's like the sweetest person.
We know it. Well, you know it's your grandma. To us, it's just...
That's why it happened to me. If it would have happened to you, then...
Or the skedaddle. Well,
yeah.
You did, remember?
What? Hold on. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're at the beginning, so
Well, I already told the scary one, apparently, so...
And that's just the beginning.
I know. Do you have, like, any, like, more scary
yeah,
than
she
that, or
does,
what?
bro. Let me tell you.
I'm like, hold on, because that was already a warm-up. That was good.
Well, let me tell you my wimpy, now that she told the scariest one. My wimpy stories. Well, my similar story when it comes to a relative is when my grandpa died, he lived in Juarez.
Okay.
So we went to the funeral over there, but I'm not too sure how much time. I'm not too sure if it was that night of the funeral, the day before, or the day after, or weeks after. I don't know. But I used to sleep with my sister because I was a scaredy cat. But
So you like
He's admitting it.
the scary stuff, but
now I do.
I was all like,
Now I'm more educated.
got it.
You know what I mean? Not me.
I was all, I don't know. I'm pretty educated on it. I'm still pretty scared of it. That's the only reason I got married. I don't want to sleep alone anymore.
I've never lived alone.
No?
No,
I was all, I did for a little bit.
I've never lived alone.
Me too.
What?
I lived alone for a little bit.
I've never lived alone.
I was all,
Okay.
That's
Is
an
that the
experience.
scary part?
Yeah.
That was a wimpy story.
I've never lived alone.
No, he's like,
Right.
I've seen that movie already.
Last man in the world. But yeah, it was. I was just laying in her bed, and I just kept seeing this white orb on the mirror, like it's the mirror and then the bed, and there's like little,
You got a little space between.
yeah, like little space. That's where it was, but in the mirror, on the mirror side. I didn't see it like live. I just saw it in the mirror,
Okay.
and I was like, I don't know what that is. I didn't feel like it was my grandpa.
okay.
I was all like,
I just saw a white orb and questioned myself. I was like, why is that thing there? I've never seen it before.
was it like a bright? Like a,
Yeah, it was super bright. It was huge. It was like this big, like this round, and super bright.
Did it move or anything?
Yeah, it like floated around, like
It was an evening.
like covered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What if it was like a portal?
Oh my god! Stop saying that.
How old are you?
I have no idea.
You don't remember? What drugs were you on?
What did you take?
What's my name?
How hungover were you again? I think it was the sun that you saw.
Flashlight of the cop. It was real, guys. This wasn't a dream. But yeah, that's my wimpy story.
Have you guys ever like wanted to do ghost hunting around here?
I've wanted to. I guess now that we've gone to literally the scariest, most haunted place in the world, I'm more open to it. Look at her face.
Yeah, you didn't have to sleep alone anymore, so you're good.
Heck
See?
yeah. Heck yeah. I'm more open to it just because just part of seeing Ghost Adventures made me believe that, okay, nothing can hurt me.
Unless you allow it.
Yeah, unless you allow it. Because what the difference between Ghost Adventures and what I would do is I don't provoke anything. They do that too for evidence purposes.
Yeah.
I would just be there to see what's going on, and
That's all I want to see. I kind of want to see like more, I guess, experiences happen to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I'm more open to it too. Because even back in the day, my parents used to take us cruising around, and we'd always go past by El Paso High, like when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen the lights flickering on in there and stuff like that. And my dad's like, look, like he was a cop.
Hey, look, guys.
he was a cop, so he liked to always go cruise
Okay,
around
okay.
and get to know the city more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my parents come from a small little town, so he would always cruise around just to kind of get to the city better and stuff like that. So we'd cruise around Central because that was his area. So that's why we'd always go past by El Paso High. And there's always something about that high school that I've always wanted to go and just kind of do
Oh
my
yeah,
own thing there.
there's so much history. It's the oldest high school.
Yeah.
It's a very old building.
I was all like,
We
for,
should,
what was
like,
it, the Mexican Revolution? That
email
they
Ghost
had
Adventures.
morgue down there.
Mm-hmm.
I was all, see, and that stuff, because I guess there's tunnels under El Paso High too or something like that. That stuff kind of, I don't know if I want to mess with that much because I have a old lieutenant from my fire department.
Yeah.
That's a police officer for the El Paso Independent School District. And I guess it was like a couple years back, he had to go patrol the area at night and make sure everything's locked up. And he has to go check those tunnels because I guess like the crackheads go down there sometimes and go do drugs. So he has to check those tunnels. And I think it was him and another guy were checking the bottom He
Like
said,
at night or during the day?
like at night.
Why?
So,
Why?
yeah, you have to
Why
go check him.
Why would you
I was
do
all
this
like-
at night?
I was all like, so I guess him and his partner are like walking through the bottom, and he sees his friend take a picture or something, and they just keep walking. So, like, I guess they finish up and then they get outside, and my lieutenant's like, hey, like, I saw you take a picture or something. Like, what were you doing? And he was all like, I don't want to talk about it here. Like, let's get out of here. And he's like, okay. So I guess they went and back to their station or something. And the guy's like, look at this picture. And he shows him a picture, and it's like a lady on the wall, like this. But he said he took the picture, and as soon as he took the picture, it was gone.
What?
But it looked like a lady, like, pressed up against the wall, like, long hair. And in the picture, you could see, like, she's wearing a white nightgown, and it's, like, long black hair, and she's like that. And he said that he didn't want to turn around. He took that picture and just kept walking. He said that he could hear something, but he
Oh,
went,
no, no.
and kept walking.
Heck no, bro.
You know what I mean?
Heck
So I was
no.
all like, that's crazy. You have like weird experiences like that. I guess to first responders, I think you're a little bit more sensitive to it because you have like crazy experiences like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've had to go to people's houses where someone's already dead, and I have to check to see if they are dead or stuff like that. And I think like me being around stuff like that kind of makes me a little bit more sensitive to it. You know what I mean? Because I guess
Yo, that's scary.
spirits pick up on like the energy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's friendly.
You.
Yeah.
I picked you.
So
I guess people who have gone through trauma more often experience those kind of things.
I think so. I think it makes them a little bit more sensitive.
Because you had a coma. You were in a coma for a week.
Yeah.
So she was in limbo.
Oh, I was all like,
I was
So-
like 6, I think 6 or 7.
see,
Did they
you started at a
resuscitate
young
you?
age.
Did they resuscitate
I
you?
have no idea. I don't
So
know.
that might have happened. You never know. So you're connected.
You're somehow connected to the spirit world. That's why.
Okay, I'm out.
No, you gotta give us more scary stories.
Well, I'll continue with my wimpy ones.
No, they're not
The-
that good, babe.
So mean. Well, one day. That's what I said. Like the least to medium and then the
Well,
most.
how many do you have? I thought you said you
I'm
didn't
just
have-
gonna say the one that I think is my first paranormal experience.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And then
A ver.
I'll tell some of my sisters.
See, I have a lot of those.
A family?
My little sister. That one I'll get into mine, but
All right.
I was
Right,
like,
right.
that's a lot more of my experiences family wise. I have a
Okay,
few, but family
okay.
wise is a lot more.
Well, my personal one, it was, I'm not sure if my brother experienced it, but I did for sure. It was in my mom's house. We were in our room. We used to sleep in bunk beds,
Okay.
and we were just fooling around. We were watching TV. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday night, or I don't know if it was during the week. But I remember just sitting on the floor, but like leaning towards the bunk bed, because you know how they turn into sofas?
Yeah.
So I was on the floor, he was on the sofa bed, and I was on the floor leaning against the bed, and we were fooling around, like he was wrestling with me, like he was grabbing from my throat, and we're watching TV, so that we're looking at this, and then this way is the door,
Okay.
and then once you go to the door, you hit the hallway, and I just remember it was just my mom and us two. So my mom was in the living room, and we were in our room. So I just remember a tall black figure like dashing like boom, towards the back. And I was like, all right, it's my mom going to her room, whatever. But because it was black and tall, I was like, oh my God. Because it had no,
No features.
it had no features, no shirt,
Yeah.
no pants, just
Like a shadow.
a tall black shadow. I was like, what is that? So I thought nothing of it. So I was like, let's go check it out.
I was like, you never do. You know
I was
what
the
mean?
white person. I was the white person in the movie.
I have to call you Scooby Doo. Going and investigating stuff.
I don't need no Scooby snacks to go. So I was a white person in the movie. So I went to go check it out. And I went to my mom's room, and she wasn't there. And then I went back out and went to the living room, and she was there. She was doing her yoga.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, did you go to the room? But in Spanish. ¿Te fuiste a tu cuarto? She's like, no. Like, oh my god, that was my first paranormal experience.
Oh, okay.
See how wimpy that is?
But you never saw anything after that? Like,
No, I've never seen it.
Okay.
But you've heard stuff.
She's seen stuff at my house, and when she tells me stuff, I get creeped out. Like,
don't tell me about
like,
this. This is
like,
my
it's my house.
This is my house. I don't want to hear it.
I sleep in it. And this is when we were dating, and like me, I put a brave face on, but in my heart is like wanting to come out my chest, dude.
Like, oh yeah, it
And
happens
so-
all the time, and in the back of your mind,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Where? Let me go get it. And my mind, I'm like, dude, I'm sweating. My heart is pounding out of my chest. But I'm like, it's all good, babe. It's all good. I got
Happens
you.
all the time.
In my mind, I'm praying. I'm saying, praying a rosary and
I
stuff.
thought you were on your 6th one already.
Right. But that was my personal supernatural experience. And then I started dating her. And it just skyrocketed from
Just
there.
kind of bumped up from there.
Hey, it's not that bad.
Okay, what's your next supernatural story?
I have so many. I don't know. Can I tell them from the apartment?
Yeah? Which one?
Oh, which time?
Well, so that was my first one, the one with the shadow. My second one was more like I don't want to call it poltergeist because I didn't see it, but I guess I experienced the aftermath. We experienced the aftermath
Okay.
of what a possible poltergeist.
Where is that at your apartment?
Yeah. When we were dating, she lived in San Eli, right in front of the high school.
Were
Oh, yeah, you lived in the same apartments as us.
Yeah,
In the
like
middle of
when
nowhere.
you guys got there, I
Middle of
You
nowhere.
left.
had just left.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy had told me that.
But in that apartment, like a lot of stuff happened.
Those apartments were creepy though. I had sometimes like that. Like we had the 2-story one,
Yeah.
and that one I was like I used to stay home a lot more with little Noe. So there was one time that he was asleep and I was just kind of sitting down watching TV, and it sounded like someone was like walking down the stairs. And little Noe used to be able to slide down the stairs. I'm like, oh, here he comes. So I go to the stairs and I'm like,
Noe?
nope. So I go back up and he's knocked out. So I was just like,
Same happened to her.
so I was just like, all right. So I kind of just like went back down and like watched all the way going down, going in reverse. Make
The
sure no one was
same.
waiting
Well,
up there.
not it. Almost the same thing in those same because I had the
The 2-story
the
as well?
2-story one too, and we were like barely like started dating, and we were downstairs in the living room.
I had no idea about this.
You had no idea about
No.
this one.
So we were downstairs and we were watching TV, and Abel, he had his own room, but he never slept there.
Okay.
He always slept with me because it was just him and I. So, like the living room, my room was like
When you came up the stairs, was it to the right or to the left?
you go up the stairs and they were to the left.
Okay.
It was 2 rooms.
Mhm.
My room was closer to the kitchen, and his room was
Above the kitchen.
above the living room.
Yeah.
So we were watching TV, and it was already like past 10, probably. I don't know what time it was.
It's 3 a.m.
No, it wasn't. But Abel, like, he was already asleep because he had to go to school. So all of a sudden, like, I just hear footsteps, like that, and I was like, oh.
We
We
hear
heard footsteps.
You
Like
were in
right up,
denial.
like
That's Abel, that's
right
Abel.
above us in his room, and I was like, oh, he woke up. So then I go up the stairs and I go into his room and he's not in there. And I was like, wait a minute, like he didn't sleep in his room, like he's in my room. And I go to my room and like he's knocked out. And then I'm like, so I come downstairs and I tell him like he was like asleep. He like ran out of the apartment.
No, that wasn't that day. Wasn't
Every
that
day, babe. Like every time something would happen, he'd be like, all right,
Dude,
I
I
gotta
would make her
go.
walk me outside the door.
Like, I
For a
gotta
period
go.
of time, she would have walked me to the door.
He'll be like, oh, it's getting late. I gotta go. Like,
No,
Sun's
that
already
was-
going down. There could be muggers out there. I gotta
Was that
go.
the same day that you told me that you were seeing her?
no.
No, the day that you told me you were seeing her, that's when I left, like 5 minutes later.
It was a walk in and walk right back out.
But those apartments, like, I remember there was this lady who, I don't know if she's like a medium or whatever. She said that in San Eli, there's a lot of like stuff going on because of the Indians that used to be there.
Mhm.
So, like, stuff would happen in my apartment, right? And I would be like, this is so weird. But then my cousin, who lived in those same apartments, but the one-story ones, one time, she told me that, because, like, we were just talking, and I told her, like, hey, like
There's some weird stuff
yeah,
going on.
in my apartment. She'd be like, you know what? Like, me too. So she told me that, she's like, I think, like, somebody plays with my daughter's toys. And I'm like, what do you mean? So the same thing, like, she has two daughters, and both of them would sleep with her because it was just the three of them. But they had their own room. And in the room, she said that they had, like, a little table with, like teacup sets or whatever.
Okay.
And she said that one night they were sleeping and she heard some noise. And she went to the room and the teacups were, like, thrown off. Like, they weren't where they were always.
Okay.
She's like that happens a lot. And then that her youngest daughter, she would say that she would see, like, little kids playing with her stuff. And I'm like, I think they come to my house too, dude.
See, I was all like, it's just those apartments because, like I said, there was even one time, and Sandy was there too, and she kind of wanted to brush it off too, but it was the same thing. You come up the stairs, our room was to the right, and then the kids to the left, and then we had the little playroom, it was a third room. We had three rooms, so we had a little third room right by the living room. That's where it was, like, their playroom as well. So they had all their toys and stuff like that. So one night we fall asleep, and I'd say it was about like 11 something, maybe almost 12, and everyone's asleep. And I remember that me and Sandy had just fallen asleep, and I hear one of the toys turn on, like someone's playing with it. So I hear it, and I'm like, oh, like someone's downstairs. So what I do, I grab my gun, I, like, walk downstairs. I'm, like, checking everywhere and making sure no one's in the house. And no, I just went into the kids' toy room, and it was like one of Noah's little toys, like, right off to the side, like, where nothing's gonna hit
Itself,
it.
yeah.
And it was just, like, playing lights, like lights were on it, and it was making sounds. And I'm just like, got that toy, and just threw it outside. If you guys want it, you could have it. There you go.
See, but that shows, like, what we went through.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legit.
Yeah, because that happened to us too. Like, one of his toys, Abel's right there, by the way.
So it happened twice. It happened in her apartments, and then once in the apartments where we lived together.
Okay.
So in her apartment, we went on a date, and we went to her apartment afterwards, and yeah, we go upstairs, and we just hear, like,
On the TV?
No, from Abel's room. So we're like, what the heck is that? So we're like trying to find the source of this thing, and his toy box was in a closet. So it's deep, like, this thing was in the middle of the toy box, like middle, like, inside. You know what I mean? Deep inside, like, you have to dig for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I was digging through the whole thing. It's like a little Iron Man walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, it was on, like, for no reason.
Making the static noise?
Yeah, like,
that's crazy.
we're like, ain't nothing coming through here. Turned it off.
Turned it off real quick.
And the same thing happened.
And then he ran out again.
He dropped you off real quick.
No, I stayed over that night.
He was pushed against the wall, though.
Yeah, dude, I slept next to the wall.
Sandy has to sleep against the wall because that's what she feels like. Someone's gonna grab her, so she has to be against the wall. I'm like,
I used to.
oh, thanks. It's
not
gonna get
anymore.
me first.
Right? It's gonna get you first, so I can know when this thing is here.
Yeah.
And now time while it's getting you for me to escape. Yeah.
No, but like those apartments, like that area right there, it's very creepy, especially at night. Mm-hmm. Like no matter what it was, like it was always like that area just gave a weird vibe.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard, and this is a scary story, like an El Paso scary story, that it's a road heading towards Fabens, I believe. You know the road that connects to the border over there in Fabens?
I think so.
I think it's Fabens, and that connects to the freeway as well. I'm not too sure, but it's a road that connects to the border to cross, and also connects to the freeway. And the road before hitting that street, They say that at night that there's like a demonic priest or something walking by.
Oh, really?
And that if you stop it, it'll get you.
Well, there's in Fabens, isn't there like a church or something out there that they have the hole in the wall or something?
Yeah. There you go.
I was that's the same thing that was supposed to be like the whole satanic area and whatnot. Cause I always wanted to go check it out, but again, Sandy won't take me or anything like that.
Sandy won't take me.
You never take me anywhere.
I want to go here.
Sandy, if you're watching this,
You always want to go to
She-
fun
she
places,
won't take me.
not scary places. I want to go to scary places.
No, like did you guys ever like in high school go to like Six Poles or anything like that?
No, I stayed away from that in high school.
I was all like,
what 6 poles?
It's over here.
Six
and,
Poles is by
I'm pointing here like
like we know.
like if people know where
No,
it
it's
is.
the community college, El Paso Community
Yeah,
College.
it's right
here off
behind.
the freeway. It's like right behind that in that area, and all it is like a cement platform, and it's 6 giant poles like right there. And what a lot of people say is that there's witchcraft that goes on there.
Really?
Yeah,
But it's weird because it's right behind
it's kind of like right
a
behind
house.
Yeah, it's like right behind a house, and a lot of people say like old witch used to live there, and she used to do her sacrifices there. So like it's community college, and it's like a little bit farther down, and it's like right there.
You know
Like-
that dirt road on the side?
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's a house? It's behind there.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so a lot of people say that if you go there at night, you could hear like animal noises all around there, and you hear people like it sounds like people are walking around it, like while you're there. So one time, me and my cousin were going out there, and Mikhail, I'm sorry I had to tell the story, but pretty much we were going back there, and he had his truck,
Disclaimer.
and it's just me and him, and we're like, oh, let's go check this out, man. It was like Friday night, and we're off-roading in his truck to try to get there, and he gets stuck. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, we're gonna be stuck here with the witch. Like, so there I was pushing
Blair
the
Witch?
truck, like rocking it back and forth, trying to get it unstuck. And I think we left the truck there and walked away because we didn't want to be right there. And we had someone come pull us out. Although, like, there's no way I'm staying right here the whole time.
And the witch was right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna wait. Started walking until I got some light.
Oh, dang.
What's another scary story?
It's Noe's turn.
My
He just
turn?
told one.
Oh,
I was like, if you want, I'll tell you the one that I experienced from
Yeah.
on the freeway.
Oh, okay.
Since we're talking about,
Tell it.
I
Tell
was
it.
like, so this one happened actually like 2 years ago. I used to work in Odessa for an ambulance company out there. So I did that for 2 years. So for the first year or so, me and my friend would carpool in his truck and go out of town, go do our days, go work 3 days and come back. And that was our routine. We would go in, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and usually we'd leave like Thursday night, but not too late. So this one Thursday, I finish up with my hours and I'm waiting for my friend to get off. And he's like, you know what, man, like they're going to keep me on until probably about midnight. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like if you want, we could stay and whatnot, and we'll just drive back in the morning. He's like, no, I got to be back by the morning because I got a lot of stuff to do.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, well, let's do this. I'll fall asleep right now. It's 9 o'clock. I'll get a couple of hours of sleep. I'll drive first, and then you take over from there, and we'll be good. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, we'll do that. So he gets off at midnight. Change. Let's go. We're on the road. We get probably to I-10 and I-20, the junction, and I start getting sleepy. So I'm like, hey, man, like, can you take over for a while? He's like, yeah. So he takes over, start driving. We get past Fort Hancock. And he's like, hey, man, like, I'm getting tired again. Can you drive? I'm like, yeah, man, we're almost there. Like, I should finish it off. So I started driving. Right when I got to about Fabens, I was already starting to get, like, really tired again. So we passed Fabens, and I'd say about 3 or 4 miles down the road, because it's still, like, a long stretch from Fabens to the Clint.
Yeah.
We're the only car, like, literally the only car out there. Usually the freeway at any time is packed. But for some reason, like, we're the only ones out there. No one coming east, no one going west. We're the only car. We're driving, and I'm kind of, like, leaning forward and kind of looking. And out of nowhere, I see in the middle of the freeway, like, on the lines, I see a black figure.
On the road?
Yeah, on the road.
Like not on the side, like on the road?
No, like, on the road. So I'm like, like, what is that? Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, maybe I'm like sleepy. So I like rub my eyes and I'm like, no, like there's something in the middle of the road. And my friend's like hearing me, I guess, talk. And he's like, hey man, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. While I'm looking at this, at the same time, out of my peripherals, on the side of the road, I see another figure. And I'm kind of trying to focus on both, but I'm not breaking my contact with the black figure. And I'm like, what the hell? But I see the white figure getting closer. As soon as we pass the white figure, the black figure goes across the street. Like, it just bolts across the street. So I see it, and as soon as I see it bolt, my friend's like, what the hell? So I turn the wheel thinking that it's someone out there that's running across, and I'm not seeing it right or something. So I jerk the wheel, and we swerve out of the way. And I kind of come to again and pull over. And I'm like, whoa. He's like, you okay, man? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And he's like, did you see that too? And I'm like,
wow.
Like, I stopped and I'm like, wait, what did you see? He saw that white figure that was on the side of the road doing this.
What?
It was on the side of the road, what it looked like white gown, white all the way down. And it was just standing on the side of the road like this, what my friend said.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't see it standing like this. I just saw the white figure. And I'm like, well, I saw that on the side, but I saw a black figure in the middle of the street. He's like, I didn't see that one. And I was like, yeah, well, when you said, oh, crap, or what the hell, I jerked the wheel because that thing bolted across the street. And he's like, yeah, but as soon as I saw that thing, as soon as we passed it, it disappeared. Like, it was not in the rear view, nothing. And I was like, are you serious? And we kind of just sat there and like, well, why are we on the side of the road? Let's get the hell out of here. So
the things are creeping up on you.
I woke up like big time. And
oh, heck yeah.
I pulled up into the front of their house because we used to live on Oscar Chacon. We had our house right there. I pulled up, and me and him sat there at least 10 minutes not saying anything.
In the car?
In the car, yeah. And then I was just like, so I'm not crazy. I saw that, right? And he was like, no, like I saw it too. So I didn't see the black figure, but I saw that white figure. Again, it was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, there was no one out, and we saw that.
That's crazy.
I would have cried.
Like, it was weird, but it's crazy because that area and the Clint area, like that, the same thing happened with me and Sandy. We went down the Clint ramp, and it's right after you pass like Mamacita's and that hotel or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know how you come down and there's that one single road that goes to the right, right before you get to the fire station. Yeah. So that road leads to the cemetery in Clint. It has houses and stuff, but the cemetery is back there. So one night, me and Sandy are driving back. We were at a family party. I'd say it was about midnight. We're driving back. Kids are knocked out in the back. Me and her are just kind of in the front talking. And we're coming up to that road. Well, on that road, we see 2 kids. It looks like they're going to throw rocks. So I see them, and I'm like, hey, look at those kids. You better not. And it looked like they threw rocks. So I swerved, and I was like, you know what? Like, what are these kids doing? So I turned back around and go look for them. I couldn't find them. Could not find them at all. I got out of my car and looked for tracks. Could not find them. And even cruised around the desert, like, looking for them. I had my flashlight, and I was looking for them. Because I was like, these kids are going to get hurt, or they're going to hurt somebody. Then Sandy tells me, she's like, hey, well, look what time it is. Why are kids out this late? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's midnight. Like, it was, I think, like a Friday night or something like that. And I was like, it's midnight. Like, what are these kids doing on the side of the road? Come to find out, like, we kind of thought it was like a ghost experience, but we never really thought about it. We're just like, man, those kids, I wonder what happened to them. A few months later, one of our friends passes away, and she's buried out there. Mm-hmm. So we didn't know that the cemetery was right there. Mm-hmm. So we figured that out, and we're like, yo, what about those kids that we saw? What if they were kids from that cemetery? Mm-hmm. And we both thought about it, and chills like ran up both of us because we even stopped and we're like, oh, like that's kind of creepy. Because I never found them at all.
That's so scary.
I have those experiences where it's just always on the road for me. Like the roads. Well, a lot of people say though, because I've kind of looked it up too, that if you see a spirit on the road, it's kind of trying to warn you about something. So maybe that's what that white spirit that I saw was trying to warn me about something. Of that black one or something. You know what I mean? So who knows? Yeah,
because the same thing happened to similar thing happened to my my mom's honey, because that's what she calls him, honey. Because he used to be a truck driver.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to be a truck driver. So he told her that one of those times he was falling asleep, and it was one of those where he was about to
Yeah.
and he was driving, and he said he just saw something like a white figure just across the road, and
Yeah, I was like,
he got lit
I was like, maybe it's just like a warning to you
Yeah.
don't suffer the same fate they had or something.
to wake you up.
Because I was all like, my sister-in-law Michelle actually told me, like right where the area that I was passing by or whatever, that a kid from San Eli had actually committed suicide up there. I guess he ran out into traffic and got hit by a car. Because even I went back to go look and there's a cross set up around there.
Oh, really?
So maybe he was warning us to wake up. Something, I don't know.
That's scary. And then our friend Ugo, you know that's the rest stop before the ramp to go into Dallas.
Yes.
He said, well, he has an uncle, and he said that he was sleeping there because also a truck driver. He was sleeping there, and he kept hearing a knock on the door. And you know how the trailers have that little tiny window at the bottom of the door? He said he saw like a pale white woman just staring at him through that door. I was like, heck no. I see a pale white woman, I'm out of there.
Exactly.
I saw a girl staring at me at the apartments, like the ones in San Eli.
Uh-huh.
I was asleep, and then it wasn't. I think it was more like a girl, like maybe like a teenage girl, but she was like, I was asleep and I woke up for some reason, and I like saw her standing by my door, just like staring at me. And then I was like, oh my gosh. So I closed my eyes and I was like, I'm gonna turn around. So I turned back, and she wasn't there anymore. But that was one of the ones that scared me the most.
Oh, yeah.
One of the ones that scared me the most is we were chilling in her apartment. I think it was like the third time that I go or second time that I go.
I don't know.
It was at the very start, and I thought she was being cute because we were like this. We were like this, like watching TV, but she was looking at me. So what?
I'm just doing it for the camera.
So picture this is a TV, and then across, the sofa's right here, so we're chilling like perpendicular to the TV.
Okay.
And then over there is a wall, the little laundry closet, and the restroom. So we're like this. She's staring at me. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she tells me like, "I see a little girl in the corner over there." And I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. I'm like, "What you mean?" I got chills down
That's when he ran
down
out.
my spine, bro. I got chills.
Another
so
time he ran out.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, just stare at me. I got you." And then I'm
Right.
like,
But inside you're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
please
yeah.
I
don't let
gotta
me
get
see
out of
anything.
here.
I'm like looking at the TV, but like with my eyes like that. And I bolted like 10 minutes later.
See, the only
I was like,
time-
"Oh, it's getting late. Look at that. I have school tomorrow."
Like the only time that I say that I've seen someone like kind of do that to me too is that house I was telling you guys about in the Lower Valley.
We're back over.
Hold on, you gonna clap
You're
again?
gonna do the clap.
I was all like,
We're back after that little supernatural interruption. Y'all heard those doorbells. It was kind of creepy. Right in the moment where
I know,
we're in the
right?
middle of a
I was
scary story. So continue.
I don't even remember the scary story I was on.
What was he saying? Do you remember?
He was talking about.
All about seeing people, right? No, I was talking about the Lower Valley house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was all like, that's right. I was all like, because you were talking about like seeing stuff out of the corner of your eye because you had that girl watching you from the
Yeah.
apartment. But yeah, at the Lower Valley, we lived in this really big house. Like, I like to see it as like a mansion, seriously. It was like one of my dad's cop friends, I guess, his parents' house. And they're retired. They're pretty well off. So this house had like a receiving area, stairs that went up to the master bedroom. The master bedroom was like a double door open up to like a huge room.
Dang.
It was a really nice house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But very creepy. These people had a maid, and they had a special room for the maid, like so she could live there too. and that room was always off limits. But we had to go in there sometimes. And that room was filled with nothing but statues. It was weird.
Like gargoyles or just
just statues. Like they would collect them and I guess paint them. So it was just a bunch of statues in there. It was weird, but we were like never really allowed in there unless like we needed to. And yeah, that house was something else. Like that, I had so many experiences. And my little sister, Bianca, sorry, but gonna have to tell your ghost stories. But
dun, dun, dun.
What happened with me one time is it was a weekday, and excuse me, I had to burp. But I was in my room. Pretty much how it was the receiving area, kind of like I guess where you would have like a fancy dining table, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then my room and my little sister's room were like right next to each other, and then it would go into like the kitchen and living room area. So I remember that I was playing PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and I'm playing PS1. PlayStation in my room, and I remember that I'm playing, and out of the corner of my eye, I could see someone peeking through my door. Like they would kind of peek really quick and then go back, and peek really quick, kind of wave, and then they'd go back. I was kind of like, Bianca, like leave me alone. Like I'm playing my games. Like leave me alone. And nothing. And then you could see again. I would go back to playing, and as soon as I'd go back to playing, I'd see again. Like, hey, just like real quick.
Yeah.
And I got up, and I was like, Bianca. And I put my controller down and got up, and she wasn't right there, so I went to the living room, and I go and I yell at all. I'm like, hey, leave me alone. I'm playing my games. Like, Bianca, stop messing with me. And my mom's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Bianca's over there peeking through my door and annoying me. Like, she's not leaving me alone.
Yeah.
She's been here with me the whole time watching this movie. And I'm like, no, she was in the, like, I saw her. I know I saw her. And my mom's like, no, like, no one at all has been over there. And I'm just like, you guys are messing with me. And went back, kept playing my games, and kept seeing it. And one of the times I caught it, it was a little boy. It wasn't a girl. It was a little boy. And I saw it, and I ran to my mom, and I was like, I just saw something. Like, and after that, we all kind of just stayed in the living room together. Because we didn't want to go anywhere.
Oh, my gosh.
So that one was weird. But that house, like I said, it had a lot of, I guess, influence, like on my little sister.
Yeah.
Because my little sister, she was probably about 3 or 4 when we lived there. And, yeah, well, we're there. She had a lot of dead friends that she used to play with. And she told my mom this. Like
imaginary friends?
No, they were just her friends that she knew of. You know what I mean? But my mom at the time wasn't working as much and would stay home with my little sister and watch her. Well, one day my mom's cleaning or doing something, and she hears my little sister like bawling her eyes out, like ridiculously, like bawling her eyes out. So she thought she got hurt, so she runs over there and checks on her. And my little sister's in her room playing, and she's just crying. And my mom's like, Mija, like, what's wrong? Like, what happened? Did you smash your finger? And she's like, no, my friends are being mean to me. And she's like, your friends? Like, who's your friends? And she's like, they're in there. Like, they're being mean to me and whatnot. And my mom's like, okay, like, whatever. And she's like, they're being mean. They keep telling me they're dead. And I know they're not dead. They're not dead. And my mom's like, who are you talking about? She's like, my friends. And no one was ever there. Like, my little sister would play with dead people, seriously. And they told her legitimately they were dead.
Dang.
Does she remember?
No, she doesn't remember it. There was even another time in the same house, my mom's doing laundry. And that I'm telling you, that house was just really, really creepy. Like, the laundry room was kind of in the back area. And it wasn't a normal, like, laundry room. It was like a really long, like, over-exaggerated kind of laundry room. It had a washer and dryer, and it had like 2 tables, I guess, for you to fold clothes, because they had a maid. So I'm pretty sure they had the maid there folding clothes all day or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mom's in there doing laundry, and she said that my little sister comes running around the corner. My mom sees her. The light, for some reason, wasn't working that day, and my little sister came and closed the door on her, and the door locked. My mom was trying to get out, couldn't get out, nothing like that, for at least 10 minutes. And she could just hear my sister, like, right there outside the door. And my mom's like, Bianca, like, open the door. And she's shaking it.
And it's pitch black inside the room?
Yeah, and it's pitch black in there because for some reason the light wasn't working that day. So it's pitch black, and my mom's, like, trying to open it. And I guess she hears my little sister leave, and then the door opens. Like, it's, like, stop being locked. And yeah, my mom gets out and runs to her room, and she finds my little sister in the room. And she's like, Bianca, why did you do that? Why did you lock me in there? And she's like, I didn't, Mom. My friend did. Like, they said that they wanted to play. So that's why they locked you in there. And my mom was like, what friends? And she's like, my friends, the ones I played with. No one ever there.
That's probably the scariest story.
I was all like, that house was just something else. Yeah, like, if you told me to go back there, I probably wouldn't, because that house was really, really weird.
Dang.
And that's where we had a lot of our experiences. And I even tell my mom this to this day. Like, that's when we had a lot of, I guess, bad juju on our family and stuff. Like, my parents would fight a lot in that house and stuff like that. And even my sisters and us, we were always against each other. Like, everyone was always fighting at one point. You know what I mean?
It was affecting all of you? It
was affecting all of us. And it wasn't until we got out of that house that all of us were like, oh, like, yeah, something was there. Because after we moved out of there, like, the whole vibe of our family, like, completely changed.
Dang.
Pretty crazy.
Ooh.
If you ever want to go check out that house, it's a 2-story house right there. Do you know where Loma Verde is, I think? Right there. It's like an elementary school.
Yeah,
Loma. You know how there's a park down at the bottom of the hill?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There's a couple houses right there that have, like, acres, and that's the area we lived in.
That's by Valle Verde, right?
No, what's up?
That's by Valle Verde?
No.
No?
It's down Loma Land. How the Valle Verde is right there by Hawkins.
Yeah.
So if you go down Loma Land, you'll hit that school. Was it Loma Verde or whatever?
Yeah.
You go down, there's a little park to the left. You follow the park, and then you'll find the house right there.
Heck no. But if you guys want to go.
That house, that house was something else. Like,
a good thing it didn't follow you.
Yeah, I know something was there.
That's crazy. Well, we're all spooked here.
Great. Now it's gonna go continue the spooky.
Yeah.
I anyway, think your story was
we're like scarier.
I was all like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that the whole scary, like when we have an experience, it's something really scary.
There's a little kid walking.
I was all like,
who's this kid? Say hi. Say hi.
Over here, look.
Say hi to the
look
camera.
Look at the camera right there and say hi.
Hi.
I'll call you right now. But yeah, like when we have an experience, it's like we have an experience. It's not like something that we kind of second guess. I guess it's just kind of like, I don't know, we've had something happen.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you for coming over.
I was like, I still got to hear more of yours, so.
Yeah, she has the scariest
I was all like,
ones.
if you have a list, I'm always down to hear ghost stories, no matter what time of the year it is. It's always Halloween season.
Right? With me too, for some reason.
So yeah,
hey.
is this scary enough for everyone? I'm ready to go.
He's not gonna
filter all this out.
Go enjoy some family fun.
Yeah,
even though it's gonna be some scary stuff there too.
Right.
Hopefully we make it in time and we'll go on that ghost tour together.
Yeah, after the haunted museum, it's like we better chill for a little bit.
Heck yeah.
But thanks.
But anyway, yeah, thank you very much for coming over, telling us your ghost stories, and thank you very, very much for tuning in, guys. Follow us on our Instagram and Facebook at Firelane Podcast, and listen to this podcast wherever, and view us on YouTube. Subscribe.
First video, remember.
Yeah. Well,
let us know how we did.
Yeah, let us know how we did, how this looks, and what we can do to improve. And tell us your personal ghost stories. Let us know in the comments on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever.
Definitely.
And happy Halloween, because this episode is going to be
aired. Yeah, by the time it comes out, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Be safe,
happy
everyone.
Halloween. Get a lot of candy. Make sure you check those candies before you let your kids eat them.
Yep.
If it's unwrapped, don't eat it. Throw it away.
If you assume it has THC, send them to me. I'll check.
I'll make sure.
I'll make sure for you guys.
But anyway, again, thank you much for coming over, Noe.
Oh, definitely. I always love coming over here, guys.
You're the best.
And having fun with you guys on this podcast. So.
Sounds good.
And outside.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna be BFFs now.
I was all like, believe me, I'll be over more whenever you guys want me.
Awesome.
We're gonna give you a key.
No, I'm there. As long as you let me hang out with the cat, I'm good.
Awesome. Well,
Alright.
that's the end. Sadly.
Enjoy, guys.
Bye, guys.
Later.